Thank you very much. I wish that I'm going to give some positive points. As the nice lady mentioned, you know that our target is changing Egypt or changing the textile industry in Egypt. I'm going to start with some figures just to know where we are and where the world going to and where is our potential. Actually, you know, our total exports is close to, for apparel, is close to $2.8 billion. This is the figures of 2024. Almost $800 million out of them from the denim. If we go through what's going on in the world, we will find that almost the world consumption is close to $2.3 billion denim. Some countries are leading the denim industry. Those countries, they were China, Mexico, Bangladesh, are leading the big consumption. Our figures still very, very modest concerning such countries. Lately, there is a lot of changes in the world, and I think this is the main occasion and the main reason for our seminar today. There is changes in the world. If we go through the last 4 years, we will find that the denim production is going down in the mentioned countries, China, Mexico, Bangladesh, and countries like Vietnam is going up, which means, you know, there is a big room for Egypt to take over. Our total exports of denim, as I mentioned, it's 800. The international consumption and the fashion is going more and more to the denim. That means it's expected for the coming 10 to 20 years, a growth in denim. That's the reason that denim production is needed. Egypt, why Egypt, you know? Egypt is actually having a big potential, the biggest potential, and I'm sorry to say we are not able, you know, to get the maximum use out of it, is the machine operators, is the population. Egypt is the highest country, in the country #1 in the world for having a growth in the age of workers from 18 to 64 years old. Are we using them? Are we going to get benefit out of them? And this is a major aspect for the garment industry, is the labor capacity, you know. As a matter of fact, Egypt has to work hard, you know, to accept, you know, this attraction. Egypt, you know, it's in the middle of the world. I mean, logistics, we are the best. We are in the middle between Far East, where most of the raw material are coming, and the major markets, which is Europe and the United States. Still the minimum wages, which of course all of us dreaming that or expecting that it will have some increase, but still it's very, very attractive comparison of a lot of countries. Of course, at top of them, our Turkish North Gate. So we expect moving a lot of industry, you know, in this area to Egypt. Egypt, as I said, have a free trade agreement with half of the world. We have with the United States, we have with Europe, we have with Africa. We have accessibility, you know, to go to the major markets with zero customs duty, which is a big advantage. So actually, you know, what I can see today from this event, this is the first time to do a specific event. Every now and then we make a textile event, which, I mean, we are not supporting too much the idea. The idea is going more and more to specific shows. This shows is just for denim. And when I see that's the first time to do this show, when I see more than 55 exhibitors, when I see 10 countries are present today, when I see or expecting more than 1,200 visitors to the show, that means something, you know. I have seen a lot, I mean, and I have my personal trial, you know, that when we started 15 years ago, this company, I came from a t-shirt factory. That was also a factory producing or selling $40 million a year, but it was an old traditional factory like most of the factories in Egypt, separate buildings, old technology. But when we saw and we could read that the world is going to the denim, I went to one of the best in the world, which is my Turkish partner, Mr. Masoud Tubrak, whom we are proud to have him with us today. He has a huge facilities in Turkey, in Algeria, in Serbia. And we decided together to start and to go with the latest technology. And we did succeed, you know. And without going to promoting ourselves or the details, we have been nominated, you know, as the top garment export in Egypt, you know, a couple of months ago. So we see a big potential. Now our total exports of garments is close to $4 billion. $4 billion is nothing. And I always insist, you know, to make a comparison. When I see a country called Bangladesh having average $40 billion garments exports, and they are the second biggest exports out of China, after China. This is shame on us. You know, we have to get use of it. So we see huge potential. We invite, you know, I mean, I have seen today a lot of our Turkish exhibitors, whom they are in Egypt, and as well, I have seen a lot of, I mean, Turkish, Indian, other nationalities, but the majority is Turkish, you know. So I see a quite big flow to Egypt, but flow is not the only reason to build this industry or to grow with this industry in Egypt. We have to work hard as a triangle between the newcomers, between the existing producers, and at top of the triangle is the government, laws and regulations. We have to change ourselves. I mean, the major aspect in Egypt, the power of Egypt is the labor. Are we investing in our labor or not? I'm sorry to say, not enough. I wouldn't like to say zero, but not enough. Vocational education is the main source and main aspect, you know, to grow in this industry. So the warning I'm sending to everybody in this room that we have a chance. Egypt trade balance, I don't like to mention it, you know, because it's very modest, you know. We talk about $40 billion against imports, more than officially 80 billion, but it's more. It doesn't work this way. Egypt cannot grow this way. Egypt has a big potential. So when we mentioned that the target in our show today, and this show, we promise you it will not be this only. We are going to repeat it, you know, because the target is Egypt real consumption is close to $40 billion. We can reach $40 billion. We have factories are growing in Egypt right now, but the number is not that big. It's not that attractive, you know. We need to grow. We need to modernize our machinery. World is going to more and more green economy. Tell me how many factories in Egypt now is going to green economy, you know, or how many factories knows what does it mean green economy. But this is the future, you know. So we need to have availability for lands, you know, I mean industrial zone with a decent prices. Is it existing or not? We have to have finance. Is it existing or not? We have to have special banks specialized in financing export. This has to be the economic policy of the government, which we send an invitation and we send a message to the government from here. It has to be a hard work between a government represented by economic group. It cannot go individually, you know, each ministry going in different direction. It has to be one economic decision, you know. I mean, it has to be a strategic decision. Second, private sector. Private sector is the real policy advocacy to the government. We have to recheck, we have to remeasure, we have to reorganize our private sector policies, which I mean federations, chambers, councils. We have plenty, but are we going to control them? Are they achieve what we are looking for? You know, we have to work hard. If we don't face the truth, the chance is leaving. I would say we lost 4 or 5 years because our chance during Corona time, 2020, sky could be the limit, you know. And personally, our company, we decided to grow 3 times starting from 2020 during the Corona time because we see a lot of possibilities, a lot of opportunities. Leading time, you know, we were 1/3 concerning Far East, China, Bangladesh, Pakistan, free trade agreement. We didn't close a single day while countries closed for 1 or 2 months, you know. Then also when it came the war between Russia and Ukraine. That was our second losing opportunity. We should take the opportunity, to grow and to act and to bring investors during that time. Did we do it or not? We have to ask our question this. So that means I don't like to talk too much, but I send through you an invitation to the private sector, to the government, that Egypt deserves 40 billion. If we talk about 40 billion in one sector, that means we can reach the target which our president is always pushing for, is $200 billion exports. In this case, Egypt will not suffer of a deficit in its trade balance. Egypt will be in a different situation. This country would be one of the leaders in the industry in the world. So I wish all the best for all of you, for Egypt, and thanks for our friends, the Turkish, the Indian, the Bangladeshis. I have seen a lot of them are here, and we are going to build it together. And looking forward, inshallah, everything will be positive. And thank you for listening, and sorry for talking too much.